Throughout the episode, Rodney did not have the best concentration, which caused him to miss several shots on goal in defiance of penalties. In the final challenge of memorizing together 10 names of province of a country, it was a lot for him. However, Scott celebrated not having to continue competing along with his neighbor Ravi after the elimination. Before the challenge, Bridget confronts Alejandro, vowing revenge for that fact that happened in the past, and that she herself would be in charge of eliminating him and Justin. Then during the challenge of making an authentic French baguette, Alejandro changes the temperature of the oven, burning the first bread that they made. This was a significant delay so that at the end of the day, both are eliminated. The teams must carry some traditional totems from the region up to a certain point of the meeting. As a means of transportation, they have to ride rhinos, but halfway there, without realizing it, they lose a part of their totem, which, to their bad luck, remains in Heather's hands. In the end, they returned to look for it, but it was too late. Ella and Sugar had already arrived from the penultimate, leaving them out of the game. In commemoration of the Day of the Dead, teams must put on a show by playing the guitar, wearing a mask and a hat, but before the show, Trent was frustrated by Justin, who injures his left arm with the beam of the stage, from the stage. And then Devin tries to put on a show for himself, but fails and is booed by the audience. After all this, Trent decides to give the show the same way, but that was not fast enough, so that his team is eliminated. The challenge counted on that the members of the team were exchanged through the draw. For Sky's bad luck, it's up to Dave, since Jasmine and Sean would go for the other side. The new equipment was launched from the helicopter through the area, and they had to find the rest area in the middle of the snow. In the end, it would be eliminated the team of the last member to reach the rest area. When Sky was in a dire situation, she managed to pursue Dave by making him sacrifice himself for her, letting her win. As the final piece of information, Sky only lied, making him believe that she liked him. During the challenge of getting out of the pyramid, the twin sisters fall into a trap. So Sammy takes the opportunity to ask her sister why he hated her, to which she replies that this was not only the case in that in the verse, she hated that her parents give her more attention, so I swear that I would never let her live in peace again. Hearing her, Sammy replies that she did not want anything and that she never cared about the attention, only the family, and that deep down she always loved her because they were sisters. After making peace, they both managed to get out, although it was too late to continue the competition. Just when a relationship with Justin had started, Anna Maria discovers that he just wanted to use her. As revenge, she decides to give him what he deserves, but he would not do it alone, since Jose would also want to get rid of Alejandro, who always distracted Heather, would soon become inconvenience for her team. While the challenge was to rescue your teammate, Jose took the opportunity to deter and lead Alejandro away from Justin. Anna Maria begins her revenge wearing a rabbit costume and a bag of snakes, which ended with the elimination of the models. When the challenge in Transylvania was that the teams reached the tip of the castle, surviving the traps, Sanders finds a rope to climb out of the castle, and the exercise lovers decide to follow them. After cutting the rope, Joe and Brick fall and are forced to enter the castle. After dodging traps and going through extreme situations, Joe seems to be attracted to Brick. In the farewell, after being eliminated, she believes that something would happen, but in the end, he had something with Sanders. In Peru, the rare girl ones seem to have everything under control in a burning race, but thanks to Heather's plan to unmask Crimson, she leaves the team with one less member. Until after a deep talk, Gwen manages to convince her to return to the game. However, much they tried to challenge the flute, they became last behind Dwayne and Kelly. At a museum in Italy, teams searched for a copy of Da Vinci's famous painting La Mona Lisa and took it by the boat to an island. Unfortunately for them, Joe had previously decided to damage one of the boats to make sure the next eliminated was not their team. With the boat broken, Dawn receives unexpected help from a whale that helps them get there, but it was too late for that. Canada was the scene of the challenge to show off on skates, but Sugar wanted to hurt Ella to see if he could achieve a partner. Although at the end of the day, Ella discovers her plan and decides not to get to the rest area. Before saying goodbye to Sugar, he says, "You know, I don't know why you hate me, but I think it's because you're an unhappy bitch," which leaves Sugar surprised. In China, the teams were scattered around different parts of the city in the country inside a fortune cookie-shaped object. When they break it and leave, they discover a map with the location of the temple to which they must carry the Chinese symbol and hang it up. And after Jasmine choose fight and a geisha challenge, in the final race for survival, the athletes were eliminated. During the season, Kelly and Dwayne got pretty close, but they both knew their relationship was impossible because they were already married. Meanwhile, USA, It was the site of a baseball game challenge where she highlighted, and a swimming challenge, where in the end, because of the chlorine that Jose threw into the water, Kelly was infected and made out of the game. Before leaving for India, Joe and Heather discuss and decide to compete without cheating to decide which team is better. In the challenge of the day, everyone had to look for a replica of the golden statue of Ganesha, but the subsequent challenge of a traditional Hindu dance exposed Heather's lack of coordination and made it the end of the villains. On the way to Greece, Joe decides to sabotage Anna Maria, changing her spray for a toxic one that caused her hair to burn. As for the challenges, they were broken dishes and a puzzle challenge that was too complicated for Anna Maria and left them out of the game. But they did not leave the competition without first taking revenge, and now Joe healed them twice before messing with the other teams. The teams arrived to Bolivia, where they had to do classic caporales dance steps. One of the team members was supposed to dance in a women's outfit, but Joe said there was no way she was going to wear that, so Lightning had to do it. Joe then had a cooking challenge of two famous dishes, humita and peanut soup, but in the oven, she only managed to make smoke. Bye, Joe. We will not miss you. In the second part of the grand finale, Zoe and Mike face Lindsay and Kitty in Argentina, where it all began, with an urban graffiti challenge where they were supposed to represent Argentinian culture. Zoe got it right, while Lindsay had a little more trouble finishing it. Kitty and Mike, meanwhile, had to look in the fish tank with the kind of sandy mud, the keys that would start the boats from the port that would take them to their final destination, giving as the winner of the Ridonculous Race 3 to Lindsay and Kitty! Wow! They were excited to win. In the end, they left us with a great postcard of the entire cast of the season, together.